Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video we will see step 2 for the migration of SQL databases to Azure. And in this step we will see how we validate the subscription compatibility with SQL MI. So before continuing further to set up resources, it is beneficial to quickly verify that we can provision SQL MI in the subscription. So let me just quickly log on to the portal and take it from there. I'm logged on to the portal. Let me see all my resources. If I have any, I only have one storage account. Good. Now, you click on create a resource here. Okay. And on the here type in SQL Azure SQL Managed Instance, Azure Arc, and Azure SQL Managed Instance. I will make a separate series or what actually is SQL Managed Instance and SQL Server on virtual machines like I created for Azure SQL PaaS. But for now, we'll continue with the migration. As soon as we are done with all of the videos of the migration, I will, in future, maybe I'll create SQL Managed Instance or other resources. Okay, so I'm going to create Azure SQL Managed Instance. You click on create here. Select the resource group. Create, and on the SQL Managed Instance grid, look for a message. If you get a message which says Managed Instance creation is not available for the chosen subscription type, right? So if you see the message stating that Managed Instance creation is not available, you have to obtain a larger quota before proceeding for the lab. Okay, so you make sure that you do not get that message when you click on create, like here. Okay, if you get, then you submit a request to obtain a larger quota for the creation of SQL Managed Instance. And let me share the list of resources that we will use in the creation of for this lab, right? Give me 1 minute. So let me pull up Notepad and I'll mention the resources that we will use. So we will use a VNet, okay? Then we will use a VPN gateway because I have to simulate the on-prem environment, and because I do not have an on-prem environment, I will create all those resources on Azure, but set up the naming convention in such a way that we'll be able to defer that, okay, this is the on-prem, this is my source from where I'm migrating my SQL to the SQL MI. Okay, it might happen that I may face some errors, some blockers in the migration, but the purpose of this video series is to give you an idea, the overview and the step-by-step procedure, showing you the steps that, okay, this is how you start and follow the steps to migrate the on-prem SQL to Azure, to SQL MI. Okay, then we will create one SQL MI instance. Okay, then I will create a jumpbox to connect to my resources. I'll use Azure Bastion. Then I will create SQL Server 2008 R2 virtual machine. Okay. Then I will create Azure Database Migration Service, or DMS. Then I will use provision a web app. Then I will use a storage account for blob storage. Then I will use install the required software on that jumpbox, and I will use worldwide importers sample database on my SQL Server 2008 VM, wherein I will restore the database and I will configure the database user and service so that I can show you that this is the environment. So first up, we have to set up an environment that we will use to migrate to Azure. Okay. Then we will proceed with the further labs. And I know there has been a long gap in making the videos, but it will not happen again. And I will make sure that I will, keep you posted with all the steps within the timeline so that you do not get this much gap while if you're doing the lab seeing my videos. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.